Hi folks, I thought I'd make a few comments on the Milwaukee Tradesman fixed blade knife. You can see it's a full-tang knife made of Chinese steel, not real thick, but wide blade. When I bought this knife, I thought it was a fabulous deal. I said, wow, what a great knife. I'll grab a piece of paper real quick. You see it cuts fairly well. It's, it'll slice. It'll slice through paper pretty good. It takes an edge, so that means it has a good heat treat. But as I began to use it, over a couple month period, the first thing I noticed, like this first day I used it, I saw these three tiny spots form, like rust spots. They had gold rust colored. I don't know why they formed. I've never seen it at any other knife. I was just taking these forks. I cut these forks to length, and then I use a knife to carve the bark off. And I was doing like 5 or 6 forks, and I've used it a lot. You can still see marks on the finish of the blade. But what I found was this handle sometimes gets low marks for slipperiness, but otherwise it's a nice fat handle. It's got that bump in there. But I found it developed hot spots, and I don't like that. I don't like hot spots on my knife handles. That could probably be fixed. I could probably grind down the handles some, wherever the hot spots were, and get rid of them. But I paid $16 shipped with tax for this knife, so it's I didn't expect it to be perfect, but I was hoping the handle would be more comfortable. I have small to medium hands. The sheath gets a lot of negative press, but the sheath has held up just great. Knife snaps in, doesn't come out. I don't know why people say that doesn't hold the knife well, because mine has for 6 months or more. No, probably close to a year now since I've had this knife. But the little bit of staining didn't bother me. The hot spots did kind of bother me. This jimping is okay. It's real rounded over. But I found that with fairly light use, just carving, whittling sticks, basically making the slingshots, the blade steel, although it takes an edge, it doesn't retain the edge that well. Forks, it would start to dull. It dulls easier than a Mora knife, easier than my Martini knives that have fairly soft steel. So I don't think it has the hardest heat treatment, but it does take an edge. It holds it okay, but not great. Whoa, I gotta fix my tripod. My camera's moving around. If you compare it to like a Buck Vanguard, this 4-inch blade, both of them have about 4.25-inch blade. Sorry about that. The Vanguard holds a much better edge, and as far as sharpness is concerned, grab this. Not a problem. Sharper than heck. Sharper than the Tradesman, but I can get this Tradesman pretty good. I've used them both since I last sharpened them, so they're not perfect. But the Vanguard's a much more expensive knife. Nowadays they're around $90. I paid $45 for it 10 years ago or so. But for $16, it's an okay knife. But I have trouble recommending it until I do something about it. Unless you don't have a problem with hot spots. Your hands might be different than mine. I don't have the biggest hands, medium, small. If you have big hands, you might like this grip better. It might not develop hot spots. Some people have said the grip is slippery. It is, but that didn't bother me much. But it's just the edge retention. I think the edge retention could be a little bit better. So I'm going to give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. I think it's worth a look for the money. A beater knife would be great. But even beater knives, for the same price, you can get a nice Mora that will hold its edge better. Or a Martini. Well, thanks for putting up with my camera moving around, and I got to fix that right now. And I'll see you the next time.